week I watched 5 movies starting with the letter G, and here's what I thought of all of them. If you're new to this series, I am watching movies that start under a specific letter of the alphabet each week, as recommended by you all. Part of this is to expand my movie horizon, but also to get better at logging my movies on Letterboxd. Okay, starting with movies that I hadn't seen before, for some reason you all really wanted me to reflect on the impacts of World War II. Which is totally good, because it led me to 2 really interesting movies, kind of different approaches to portraying those impacts. So the first new movie that I watched was the original Godzilla movie, which I don't think that I've ever seen before. I've definitely seen subsequent Godzilla movies. I'm not a huge fan of like Godzilla vs. Kong series, but I do watch them. For entertainment value, I wouldn't say I'm a Godzilla aficionado. I did really like this movie. I think a lot of the reviews on Letterboxd are very straightforward in that this movie is not really about Godzilla, you know? So I appreciate that aspect. I had a tough time with some of the visuals. I know I've seen how they've done the Godzilla in the tiny town before, and I think that's fun. I was probably a little bit too critical given that it is in the 1950s. And possibly I was a little bit more critical because the other movie about World War II impacts that I saw was Grave with the Fireflies, which was also recommended. It was this absolutely beautiful animated film about these 2 children who are experiencing the impacts of World War II as it is happening, and then also when it is over. It is not for the faint of heart. It is very, very sad. The ending, oh gosh, there are like so many wonderful and horrible layers to the ending, so proceed at your own risk. I also watched G20 because it was advertised to me and it starts with the letter G and it felt like, you know, that's a sign, right? I mean, not a life-changing movie. I think it's like a good action movie if you're just like looking for something to watch with your friends or with your family. It's not gonna change your life, but I love Viola Davis and will just support whatever she said. There's AI, there's cryptocurrency. It's your classic 2025 doomsday scenario. A movie that I have potentially seen before but can't remember all of the aspects of was Good Will Hunting, and absolutely loved it upon potential rewatch. I think it just does an incredible job of balancing humor and heart and explorations of class, and it's just absolutely wonderful movie. I can't imagine a time where I'll look back and be like, I don't know about that. Also, I think this is one of Robin Williams' more iconic roles, so absolutely wonderful movie, would recommend to anybody. And of course, as I'm watching movies that start with G, how could I possibly bypass the opportunity to rewatch Gladiator? I think it's kind of a classic, especially if you're constantly thinking about the Roman Empire. I didn't really think too much about the score until near one of the end scenes. It like very distinctly sounds exactly like Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was like, what is happening here? Am I imagining this? So yeah, that was a new thing upon rewatch. So yeah, overall some pretty great movies for the letter G. Thank you all so much for your recommendations. Next I will be watching movies that start with the letter H, so leave your recommendations below.